So hey, welcome back to the vlog. I know it's been a while since I've made a vlog, about a month. The last one was in December, around, what was it, about a week before Christmas, that sort of thing. Been fairly busy. We finally got snow on the ground after Christmas, so we did not have a snowy Christmas this year. But it really wasn't too bad because we paid for it in getting a shit ton of snow all at once. Just like what happened recently in New York State and Washington in the States, but not to that extreme you'd think it was. It took the city a week to clear all the snow out, but that's the city I live in. But yeah, I spent a lot of it shoveling snow, had a great Christmas, had a great New Year. I hope everybody took advantage of the Boxing Day sales. Now you're all stocked up on garbage bags and de-icer for your community mailbox. Yeah, been there. But yeah, I just wanted to check in and kind of bring you up to speed on what has happened, what will be happening. The never-ending website update continues. I mean, the reason why it's taking me forever to do that is because I'm learning coding and trying to apply it. And of course, with technology, it never works the first 40 times you try something. At least that's my experience when it comes to coding stuff. Kind of nix some of the stuff that's superfluous to the site and add some of the newer content in a more relevant way as the site develops into more of a resource and less of a movie reviews blog. I also want to get back into doing the movie reviews. I think that January and February will probably be a good time for me to catch up on doing that. I was thinking about doing a video kind of along the lines of the road to the Oscars and focus on reviewing the movies that have been nominated, but seeing as I'm not a really big fan of the Oscars as anything more than recognizing it as a marketing gravy train to get people excited about the movies during the season when most people are broke after Christmas and are too busy trying to scrounge enough money to pay their taxes in the spring. I'm really not so sure that I'm going to do that. I will probably just continue to pick and choose the movies that appeal to me and that I'm actually willing to pay the price to see in the movie theater. And along those lines, also being able to stream movies, not in a piracy sense of the term or anything like that, but we just got Netflix. It's the Canadian Netflix, so there's less of a pool of stuff available than with the American Netflix, but you know what, it's also the legal way to go, and hopefully the Canadian Netflix will kind of pull its thumb out at some point and include a lot more content in there. I just took a quick look around. The reason why we got Netflix is mainly because we've been tired of trying to find new stuff on regular cable TV that we haven't seen previously, and so it's like, okay, well, clearly we need more novelty in our lives. Let's upgrade the internet connection from the cheapo light service that we were using and have been using for it's got to be at least 5, probably 6 years, and get a high-speed connection and set up Netflix. So we've done that now. It reminds me, I took the old router back, but I have to pick up a gift from my wife. The month-iversary is coming up. You don't know what a month-iversary is. My wife and I agreed that, I mean, right from even when we were dating, before we got married, every month we just give each other a just because gift. Usually something simple, something small, a gift card from a favorite store, coffee shop, or bookstore. My wife's a huge reader. Or, I mean, I know most of the stores that she likes to shop in, so I'll get her a gift card for that, a $20 gift card, that sort of thing, and a nice card. And we do that every month that isn't the month of our wedding anniversary. And yeah, I've got to go do that because, you know, as much as I share in the chores and make the dinners every so often, and do the laundry every so often, and run the vacuum every so often. It's something that we've agreed to do, so I've got to get out there and do that, and just a little something to show my appreciation to her every month. The other cool thing about having the high-speed internet, as opposed to the cheapo light package that we've had for years, has to do with uploading videos. Previously, my highlights video that really only runs about 3.5 minutes long would normally take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to upload to YouTube, which was really aggravating because I couldn't multitask. So I would have to either, if I really needed to do things online while I was uploading a video, the vlogs would take a ridiculous amount of time, like 5 or 6 hours to upload, depending on what time of the day or evening I would upload it. That just drove me nuts, because you can't really do anything on the internet when that's going. It's almost like having dial-up. In the old days of dial-up, if you remember that, where everything took forever, if it wasn't just text-based. And with the new high-speed, that same 3 to 3.5 minute highlights video takes about 5 minutes to upload, which is amazing. It actually, the first time it happened, which would have been this last highlights video that I uploaded last week, I actually thought there was something wrong. Or did I stupidly just upload the thumbnail thinking it was the video? But no, it all went up okay in 5 minutes, so I was hustling to get the rest of the stuff done that I normally do after I've uploaded a video. There's a little bit of marketing stuff that I do, posting it in various places as well as social media. So that's a cool thing. Anything that will cut down the amount of time that it takes from pre-production to production to post-production to upload, anything that cuts any of that normally large chunk of time in producing much of the video content that I've been producing is definitely welcome. Along with that, the learning curve continues as far as post-production and videos. I've been trying to keep it fairly simple for myself as I've been getting used to Premiere Pro, which is what I use, and I chose that one because I'm very familiar with Photoshop and Illustrator, and I know that you can migrate files back and forth. You know, again, using the highlights video as an example, when I first started with the editing of that series, it would normally take me about 5 or 6 hours to edit that 3 or so minute video. I think sometimes they were 4 minutes, which is a lot of time to spend on editing stuff, especially when, for the most part, each blurb or segment about each movie is essentially the same as the next one. There are very few variations in the actual editing of it. So I've been able to get that down. It normally takes about 2.5 to 3 hours now for me to put that together, and that's after I've put together all of the graphics and that sort of thing. Much of that I take care of before I shoot the video itself. I'll grab all of the posters and make sure I've got all of the attribution information and source information. The same with the clips that I grab from EPK TV, which is a site that I've mentioned many times, where studios and distributors make their content, their copyrighted content, available for people like me to use with consent. Along those lines, there's still, if you hadn't heard, the reaction quote-unquote community, the people who make reaction videos on YouTube are pretty well getting clobbered left, right, and center, and have been for a little while now, with copyright infringement strikes. Well, they're not really strikes, they're flags. The strike happens after the second step in that process of dealing with those claims. Kind of along the lines of, if you've been a fan of YouTube for any real length of time, It's kind of along the same lines as what gamers went through with their Let's Play videos a few years ago, where the game manufacturers were slapping copyright infringement flags and strikes, and having videos taken down, and having channels suspended, AdSense suspended, all of this sort of nonsense that was going on with the gamers a few years ago. It's similar to that now with the reaction video makers, including me, and people like me who actually do have consent to use the content. But because there's this poisonous atmosphere that's going on right now, it seems as though everybody's being lumped into the same category. If you make a reaction video where you include copyrighted content, then you're going to get slapped. It's more likely that you're going to get slapped with some kind of a copyright infringement notice. It really just seems to be something that you kind of have to weather through. You know, it's almost like a christening for video makers who choose to use copyrighted content, regardless of whether or not you have consent to use it from those distributors and studios. So we're going to see what's going on. I haven't taken any of the copyright notices to the second step, which is basically YouTube's way of stepping back and letting the claimant and the video maker hash it out off-site. The main reason why I haven't taken it to the next level is because I don't really like how YouTube's system is set up, where to enter the second step in that process, I have to provide personal information to the claimant, and nowhere does it reassure me in any sense of the word that the claimant actually represents a studio or a distributor. And what I find mind-boggling is on EPK TV, where I'm a registered member, they have all of my contact information. They have a contact phone number, they have a mailing address, they have my full name, they have all of that stuff, my email address. And so if the person who is making the copyright claims on YouTube was actually connected to the studios, one would guess that someone in the studio who set up the EPK account in order to provide this content would be able to access that contact information, and I wouldn't have to just provide it to anybody who may or may not actually have a fake account using the name Universal or Warner Brothers or Europa Corp or E1 Entertainment. I don't know if these are actually valid accounts or if they're fake accounts, and I'm not naive enough to believe that YouTube has vetted all of these users. So really, if I was going to take it any further as far as the copyright claims were concerned, I would contact the studios directly. Warner released the new trailer for Suicide Squad. So if you're a fan of reaction videos, I absolutely suggest that you check out Black Nerd Comedy. Andre he actually did 2 reaction videos. He did one that is primarily him just talking about it with no, there are no photos, there's no clips or anything like that. That was the second video that he did. But the first reaction video that he did, you absolutely need to check it out. It is one of the best reaction videos that I believe I will ever see in my lifetime. Don't get me wrong, absolute praise and definite respect for the Big Four, particularly Gattor Martin, who, for all intents and purposes, is the one who created what people are doing now and calling reaction videos, from what I understand. So respect to all of you guys and what you're doing. Not trying to take anything away from what you're doing at all, but absolutely check out Andre's reaction video for the Suicide Squad movie on his channel, which is called Black Nerd Comedy. Okay, so I gotta go. I gotta buy a gift for my wife and a nice card. Thanks again for checking out the vlog, or as some people probably call it, taking a nice nap while watching YouTube videos. Wow, I gotta vacuum this place. It's starting to smell like feet.